This is not a camera trick, and in this video I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this. Hey, hello! So, I've just come back from a holiday, a little trip to a spa hotel, which was absolutely lovely. Currently just walking next to a river, and today I'm going to teach you a trick that I really love. It's one of the few tricks that actually fools you while you're performing it. It's super visual and really easy to do. But man, it is hot today. It's going to be like 28 degrees, which I know some people watching this will say, that is not hot at all, but for Britain it is hot, trust me, and I am not built for that sort of weather. If I turn around, you can see Manchester in the background there, if you're wondering where exactly I'm walking. Also, when I get home, there is a package waiting for me, which I believe is a deck of cards that needs reviewing. So I'm going to open that up, take a look at it. But yeah, if you're wondering where the videos have been recently, I have been working on some Magician Club stuff. There's been a lot of Magician Club videos recently, and a lot more to come as well are already in the bank, including a brand new series of videos called the Guest Library. Essentially, what this is going to be is I have got a load of different magicians to teach their own material, right from mentalism to coin magic to card magic, stuff that I don't know and I can't teach. And I've got some real underground magicians as well as some favourite faces in the magic industry to teach you their stuff. And it's all going to be available on the Queen tier of the Magician Club. More on that later, but yeah, I've got some exciting names lined up for the guest content of the Magician Club, so looking forward to that. I always get really self-conscious vlogging in public. I feel like someone's gonna hear me and think that I'm just talking to myself. And yeah, just actually thinking about my holiday that I went on recently, there was this rooftop pool that was really nice, and I discovered something you could do in the pool that made it look like you were walking on water. And I absolutely love those sort of accidental illusions, those moments where you just discover that something is possible, and I think I'm always on the lookout for that, sort of subconsciously. I'm always thinking like, oh, what trick can I do in this moment?
Backlash written on me, card robbing on a glass bowl, I've been ballin'. Free my ladies in the counter now, I'm already out, already on the countdown, I'ma set it right.
Alright, we're gonna start off with a super quick deck review. So this is from Joshua Shows. He says, "What's up, Cavan? I hope these cards reach you well. I apologise for the image quality of the tuck case. It will not look like that on the finished product. That is okay. My prototypes always had errors and things wrong with them, so do not worry. What I'll do is I'll link the Kickstarter page for these cards down in the description if you want to go and check them out. They're called the Raven Magic playing cards, sent to me by a subscriber, so thank you so much to Josh for sending these over. Let's crack them open, take a look." I'm not going to spend too much time on the box because, as he says, it is incomplete, but we have this lovely image of a raven, almost in gold paint, sort of splattered across the box. Really sleek and minimal. I think it really works. Cracking the box open, we've got a couple of things on the tabs, and then this. Wow, this is the back design. It is super gold. The gold coloration goes all the way to the edge, which I'm not a big fan of, if I'm being honest, but I do like the inclusion of the birds in each of the four corners and that feather in the center, once again with the sort of splattered paint style. Really big fan of that. And the background with the sort of white is, and if you're not a Doctor Who fan, I apologise, but it looks a little bit like Gallifreyan writing to me, that back design. And there's almost sort of circuitry or Egyptian hieroglyphics around the edge. All of the actual design work I'm a big fan of, it's just the colour I'm not 100% sold on. Take a look at the face, we have the Jack of Spades, which is the first card, so I'm assuming that is some sort of duplicate. Yeah, we get a duplicate Jack of Spades, and then it comes in, I believe this is Advocate's order, where it's all the aces, then all the kings, all the queens, all the jacks, and so on. So it's not new deck order, it's Advocate's order, I believe. Oh, okay, so the court cards are standard. The court cards are, as far as I can tell, completely standard, which is a surprise to me because when I looked at this first card, I assumed that they were all going to have sort of bird faces, and I really liked that. I actually would prefer if the whole deck had this. Just a little bit more customization. It would make it feel much more unique. All of the cards throughout the whole deck are standard until we come to these two jokers. And I really like these jokers, actually. I think these are really, really good. We've got a sort of infinity symbol that's broken, and it follows the theme of the rest of the deck really, really nicely. You can tell the artwork is all really coherent. And as an extra kicker, I wanted to save this revelation for the end of the review, but this was actually designed by Arya, who designs my decks of cards. So it's in collaboration with Arya. It's great to see more of his work in physical form. So once again, I'll link the Kickstarter down in the description if you like the look of this deck and you want to support it. That is the deck review portion of this video over. Now it's time to learn that amazing trick you saw in the intro. And I'm actually going to change into a black t-shirt for this because I think it looks a lot better on a black t-shirt. When you're dealing with fire in this way, it just pops a lot more if you're having a black back design. It's not part of the method, you can perform this in any t-shirt, it's not black art or anything like that, but it just looks a lot better. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It probably goes without saying that in this trick you need a lighter, obviously, but you also need something else, which I'll come to in just a second. But first, the lighter itself is actually kind of important, because there are some that work and some that don't work for this trick, so I'll tell you which ones to avoid. But all of the ones you see here do work, plus a load of other brands. In fact, the ones that work are the most common type of lighter, so do not worry if you have a lighter. Most likely, it is one of these types. And the reason these work, the thing they have in common is this. And actually, this one's broken, so I can take it apart and show you what I mean. Because underneath the casing, they have a small hole right at the end where the fuel comes out. Basically, the ones you want to avoid are things like the Zippo, because inside a Zippo, as well as the small hole, they also have a wick. They have a bit of string in there which is going to get in the way of exactly how we're going to use the lighter. So try and avoid a Zippo because they do not work for this trick, but anything with a small hole does. This one doesn't though because it's broken, so I'm going to use the other ones. The other thing you need for this trick is a pen. Essentially what we're doing is we're covering that tiny little hole with ink. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can remove the casing from a pen and draw over it if you like. Or if you get a biro, one of these with a real sort of tube of ink, and remove the top, just like so, you are left with something that can fit over that nozzle perfectly, and then I can blow, and it soaks that with ink. I can dab it, and you can see now exactly what that's done. It's covered the nozzle in ink. Once the ink is covered, it is simply a case of striking the lighter and watching the magic happen. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is maintain pressure on that button, and that's it. That will keep the flame alive, and you just watch as it hangs in midair. So there we have it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed this, make sure to click the thumbs up button down below. That is really, really appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a future video, and I'll see you in the next one.